When we started to think about gas tanks for the Flats Flyer, we knew a few things right off the bat. The gas tanks were going to be located in the back of the boat because when tanks are empty or tanks are full, it doesn't change the balance of the boat as much and the trim as much as having a tank in the bow of the boat. So stern was the place the tanks are going to be, and they're under the stern casting platform. The other thing is we are going to have twin tanks. It's better to have redundancy there. If something goes wrong, you've got another tank there. If you're going along and all of a sudden one tank runs out of gas and both tanks are the same size, then you can, while you're flipping the valve to flip to the other tank, it's a good reminder that maybe you shouldn't get any further from home. It's time to maybe turn around and work your way back in the direction of home. The other thing about redundancy is when you go to fill a tank that is, say, a 40-gallon tank, and you use up half the gas when you go on Saturday, and maybe you don't go fishing that often, you only get a chance to go every couple of months. You know, the gasoline has a less quality these days than it did a few years ago. And so if you use half a tank of gas, you have half a tank of older gas, maybe from a couple of months ago, the last time you used the boat. And so you add some new gas that's not so good to some older gas that also wasn't so good when you bought it in the first place. And so we thought that was a bad idea. If you have twin tanks, you can run one dry and then switch to the other tank. And if you want them both topped off when you go out, that's fine. Put a fresh load in the empty tank, top off the other tank, but continue using the other tank that has the blended gas, and get rid of that first and drain that tank. It's the best way to always keep the freshest gas in your boat, and your outboard motor will thank you for it. The other thing we looked at was, okay, what kind of tank are we going to put in? We thought aluminum for sure, and then we started thinking about it and thought, there is absolutely nothing wrong with portables. In fact, the old way is best. So that old red gas tank, they're reliable, they're strong, they're tough, they're lightweight, they're easy to get at and service and remove or replace. And the other thing is, in the Flats Flyer, we've allowed enough space for you to put in a pair of 3-gallon gas tanks or a pair of 26-gallon gas tanks or anything in between. Well, why would a pair of 3s be something you would put in a 25-foot boat? Well, we know people who have a dock that they keep their boat at, and they walk down there and they go 1 or 2 or 3 miles or 6 miles, and then they go home, and that's it, and they keep their boat at the dock. And even one 3-gallon tank would cover a trip like that, but you have a second 3-gallon tank for spare, and when you get back to the dock, you don't have to take the boat out to go get gas. 3-gallon tanks full weigh about 20 pounds apiece. You just pick those guys up, and the empties weigh less than that. Carry them up to the car, load them up, and simply carry them back down to the boat, and you're in business and you're underway again without having to put your boat on the trailer. So that's what we do for gas in the Flats Flyer.